Hey guys, so God is resting a message upon my heart, and I had to give it. I have to come on here and I have to give it to y'all. So God told me in prayer this morning that my anxiety was silly and that my anxiety was pure foolishness. And I was like, "Ooh, God, you think my anxiety is silly?" And he explained to me why. And he said, how can you say you trust in me when you're anxious about everything, you know? And I was in deep prayer, and I was just praying. I was like, I am so anxious about every small detail. And like, for me personally, it can get to a point where like every single thing I'm just like, what do you want me to do, God? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? And even that thought process gets me really like stuck and frozen, because I'm like so anxious that I'm like, God, do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? And he's just like, even in that, you're so worried about what I'm saying, but even in that, you're lacking trust. You're lacking the trust in my divinity. You know, you don't realize it, Sarah, but you're so wrapped up in all these thoughts and all these worries that you're showing me that you don't trust in me, right? And me, I'm not thinking like that. I'm just like, okay, God, but I just want to make sure that you're telling me to do this. But he's like, but you're showing me that you don't trust me when you do that. Because he's like, I'm God. Even if you mess up, I still got this. I still got this. Even if you come off course, I still got this. I still got this. And so the constant worry, right, of me trying to figure out what's God's voice, what's my voice, that constant worry, it turns into anxiety. And it turns into you like losing track of the focus. Like you're going based on your own, right? Your own desires. You're going based on like your own thought process. Now you've taken your eyes off of God, and you didn't even know it, right? You didn't even realize it. You think you're doing, the right thing by like constantly trying to figure out if you're worrying, if you're doing the will of God or not, right? You think you're doing the right thing because you're like, oh, I'm just trying to figure out your voice, God. But in that alone, you're choosing to not trust in God. You're choosing to take your eyes off him and to focus on everything else. You have to focus on all the worries, the problems. So honestly, in that prayer, God really highlighted that for me. And I was like, okay, God, like, he really hit the nail on the head for that. Because I really, honestly, I didn't think of it that way. Because, when you're in the depths of anxiety and sometimes you don't really realize that you're the cause of the anxiety until, you go in prayer and you're reflecting with God on the day. And like, and today that's what I was doing. I was reflecting on the day with God. And I was like, yesterday, God, I was in deep worry, and he's like, well, why? Why were you? Because you didn't trust in me, that I got this. Even when you don't got this, and even when you're making all these silly mistakes, even when you misjudge my voice for your voice, I still got this. He's got it no matter what. There's nothing you can do that can like disrupt the process. There's nothing you can do, And my concern too was like, God, I don't know, like, do you want me to go into this direction? Like, I was like, do you want me to go here? Do you want me to go here? Do you want me to go here? Or do you want me to go here? And so me just putting all that on the table in my mind, I was just confusing myself. I was like, oh my gosh, God, whoa. Are you telling me to do this? Or are you telling me to do that? Are you telling me to... And oh my gosh, guys, it's such a debilitating thing when you start to worry about everything, and you don't know you're worrying, but you are worrying. You're literally putting everything on the table, and you're just like, God, okay, so I had thoughts about this, and then I had thoughts about this, and then I had thoughts about this. Which one are you telling me to? But guys, there's a but coming. You just have to have faith. Step out in faith. Because even if you do something and it's not the will of God, right? If you do something and you're like, okay, I think this is what God is telling me to do, He's a good God, and he will retract you and put you back to where he needs you to be. He won't let you stay in a course of something that isn't meant for you. So we're meant to just make these mistakes, guys, to just make mistakes and let God continue to guide us, because we were never supposed to walk a straight, yeah, we're supposed to walk on that straight and narrow road, but we're never gonna be like perfect on that road, if you know what I mean. We're never gonna walk in perfection, because that's not what God called us to do. He never called us to walk in perfection. So that constant worrying state of trying to figure out, you know, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? You know, and am I messing up God's plan? You can't you can't mess up God's plan for your life. You simply can't. You don't have that much power. I mean, you can by just fully disobeying him and going off into the world and just doing what you want to do, but if you're walking with God, if you're in alignment with him, if you're praying to him, you cannot mess up his plan for you. You can't. He's going to direct you. If you're rooted in him, he's going to direct you, right? Seek the kingdom of God, and everything else will be added on to you. There's no way that you're seeking God with all of your heart and that you won't find him, and that you won't gain, right, the desires of your heart. There's no way, right? It's impossible. So I just thought that was just a beautiful revelation from God this morning in the upper room with God. I just had to share. I mean, if you're like me sometimes and you get in a state of worry and concern, and if you're like me and you don't realize it sometimes, this is just a reminder to you that it's literally foolishness. Because that's what God told me this morning. He was like, it's foolishness for you to trust in me, Sarah, but you're worrying about all of this. You're worrying about X, Y, and Z and which path I'm taking you on. Just trust me and walk. Step out in faith, Sarah. And that's what he's telling me to do, guys. So let this be a reminder to just trust in God and to just lean on him in everything. And if you start to feel anxious and you start to feel overwhelmed, confused, just let that be your reminder to get in prayer and to give that to God, right? Give all your concerns to God. Give all your worries to God, right? That's the message. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe and like this video.